Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Hollywood Actors Guide to Surviving the Film and Television Industry. This is Jennifer Lynn Warren here at home where I'm supposed to be in North Hollywood, California. And today I wanted to start off with this crazy thing that happened on the internet to me today on Facebook. And I'm sure that similar things may be happening to you. And there's so much negativity going on. The post that I read was this gentleman that, you have those friends on Facebook that you can't remember becoming friends with them and you really don't know how you know them. And I really don't know how I know this person, but I know I don't want them in my life anymore, and not even my online life. But they had posted that they were sick and tired of people complaining about being out of work and not having money, that if your job was considered, quote, essential, that you would be at work right now and you wouldn't be complaining and crying. And that after all this is over, you should quit your job that does not matter, and that you should go get a job that actually contributes to society. And I thought, oh my God, what a horrible thing to say to people, first of all, who are suffering. Second of all, there are dentists that are not working right now. And I think that's a pretty essential job. I think they're only allowed to perform like emergency oral surgery, things like that. And third of all, I wonder if this person would be, and this is what I put on his Facebook. I got snarky. I was like, well, listen, why don't we just shut down all of your Netflix accounts, HBO accounts, everything like that, because everything that artists create in the film and television industry is shut down right now, and you don't consider that essential, so you shouldn't be allowed to watch that kind of stuff. And I think he unfriended me, which is great. I'm totally fine with that. And the thing is that artists, we have a belief that what we do is important, and it is. It is so important, because while the world is shut down and everyone is locked in at home, they are turning to artists right now. Every single person. And it doesn't matter if they're binging Netflix and watching film and TV, or if they're picking up a book and reading it, or there's so, listening to music. They're turning to artists, and artists are all suffering right now because either, people don't really, you can't really spend money going out to the movies and things like that. So artists aren't making money. You can't tour with your band at the moment. And many artists have second jobs. Many of them are servers, bartenders, Uber drivers. And so they're not working across the board right now. And so I just want to say to you that if you come across these walls of negativity that kind of just smacks you like this post did to me today, just take a deep breath and remember that you being an actor is what everyone's eyes are glued on right now. They're turning to stories, and they are turning to storytellers right now to get them through this, so that you are important. What you want to do is important, and don't let some crazy ass guy on the Facebook tell you otherwise. Okay, all my dear actors out there, if you're paying attention, I have brought this up a couple times. There's a lot of open calls out there happening right now for monologues and scene submissions. You can find some of them on Actors Access, some of them through Instagram, following different casting directors. And Erica Bream has a great one out right now, and you can submit to it through Actors Access. I think you have until April 17th to submit. And the great thing about hers is that she's giving you like a prompt, and then you create your own piece. And what I was reminded today as I was recording my piece, I wrote out this cool little thing that I really enjoyed. I may post it later. Is that because it was my own and it was my writing, if I felt like changing something in the moment of the performance, I felt very free to do that. And I think a lot of times in our auditions, we are trying to be slaves to the script and we're trying to honor the writer, which we should do. It's important to do, but it can lock us down. And a great thing to do about making the text your own, and this is something I used to do and I haven't done it in a long time, and I was kind of reminded of it today, is that when I would rehearse a scene, I would get off book for it. And then when I was running it with either my coach or with a friend, I would make it my own. I would improvise. I would have them improvise, because then you get to surprise yourself. And when you get into the flow and you get comfortable with surprising yourself, when you go into the audition room, you're going to be able to surprise yourself there in the choices that you make. And it's not about changing the words and things like that in the audition room, but it's being able to come up with those moments of emotion that you don't even know are coming. And what that does is, the casting director, they want to see the performance. They don't want to see the preparation of the performance. They don't want to see how you prepared to cry on this cue, how you prepared to laugh on this cue. And Meisner is a great technique to learn if you struggle with this a lot, because what they'll teach you in Meisner is not to say anything, do anything until you actually feel the impulse. Now, we don't have that luxury on set and in auditions, and so it is simply a tool in your toolbox. But it is important to be able to surprise yourself and not show your preparation to the casting director. Okay, I know we've all lost the timeline. We don't know what day it is. If you're listening to it the day this drops, this is Wednesday, April 15th. But if you've lost where we are in the film and television world and the world of agents and submitting, drop season is happening. So agents are dropping their actors, managers are dropping the actors that did not do well during pilot season, or they don't see the actor making money for them. So that also means that this is agent and manager meeting season, and it still is. Now, nobody's coming into any offices to meet face to face, but agents and managers are looking at reels, and they are looking at submissions, and they are taking on new talent. So if you're feeling lazy and you're sitting around and you're like, well, the industry is shut down right now, well, guess what? It's not. It is not at all. And when this industry gets the green light to go, there's going to be so many productions and so many opportunities that are going to spring up all of a sudden out of nowhere that you need to be prepared. And that's not the moment to start bothering agents and managers. So I know here in Los Angeles, we have a month until the lockdown, at least as far as we know right now. We have a whole month. That is 4 weeks that you're at home, unless you're a grocery store worker or a healthcare professional, in which case, thank you so much for everything that you're doing. But if you are like me and you are home right now, you have all the time in the world to get your materials together and start submitting online to agents and managers or whatever it is that you need. And you should have done the work already to know who's casting what and which agents to submit to and all that other fun stuff, because we've talked about that in previous podcasts. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you also have all of this time to go back and listen to all my podcasts. So go back and do that. So I want to give a big thank you to everyone who sent me some virtual tips last week via PayPal. It helped immensely. It's going to help keep this podcast going for a while. It's so wonderful. It's wonderful to have all that support. And so I want to give back to you. So between now, which is April 15th, and May 1st of 2020, if you email me at hollywoodactorsguide@gmail.com and you send me your resume, I will look it over and I will do like a review, because like when you're out in the real world, there are people that you pay a lot of money to give your resume to them for them to be like, oh, you want to format it this way, or you want to take this off or shift this. And it's the same for actors. A lot of actors, your resumes are a mess, and I'm a bit of a ninja when it comes to cleaning up actors' resumes. Sometimes it hurts, and sometimes it can be a little painful, because sometimes I'll tell you to take things off, and I will tell you why. I won't just do it blindly, be like, oh, no, you don't need that. I will tell you why you don't need that. But I am very helpful with that. So if you would like some help, I'm offering as a thank you to all of my listeners out there. You don't even need to have donated. This is just a thank you just for listening. So you can send those resumes over to hollywoodactorsguide@gmail.com. Give me a couple days to get to you, depending on how many I get. Anyway, I'll try to get to them before May 1st. So I want to try to get through all of them. So send them as soon as you can, or as soon as you hear this. In the meantime, if you would like to support the podcast, you can send a virtual tip by PayPal to jenniferlynnwarren@gmail.com, which is my personal email address, and I do appreciate it. It does cost money to keep this podcast going, and I would like to open it up, bring on some guests, upgrade the equipment, be able to do some more things for you guys, and having like a financial budget for the podcast would help me do that. So don't feel like you need to. I know we're all struggling right now, but if you can, that would be awesome. So that's it for me today, guys. Break a leg, and remember, you are not alone.